Hey y'all, thanks for joining me. This is Mike again. Yeah, so Gorch has got me reacting to a couple of more. And Gorch is like Greg with Wayback. They give me unique requests. So this one's going to be, I believe it's about a short track. So the title, let me just bring it up so y'all can see what I'm looking at. So the title is 10 Sport. There's nothing like it. This is Mount Panarama. This is Bathurst. Pardon me. So I haven't seen it, but so after this one, I'm also going to do a Darrell Waltrip one, where I think he scares somebody. I don't know if it's a car salesman or something like that, and I don't know if they know that he's a professional NASCAR racer guy. So yeah, man, without further delay, let's just get on into it. I'm going to learn something right along with y'all. So here we go.
You know what? You never forget it. You never forget it because there's nothing like it. This is Mount Panarama. This is Bathurst.
As soon as you head out on this mountain, it is total commitment for every single millimetre.
Like last cars are gridded up now.
If you can't make the judgment call 120 metres into 1,000 kilometres to just be a little bit sensible, don't start the race.
The Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 erupts.
And the charge to turn one.
Okay, it's a great corner, second gear. The engine's right in its sweet spot. But remember, whilst you've got to carry mid-corner speed and use that exit curb, you want to get to 100% throttle early, so don't get too greedy. Don't get caught up in the moment. The moment is 6 hours later.
Side by side up
Good advice.
If I can offer you one free bit of advice, every single time you exit the pit lane, you grab your belts and you tighten them. And every other lap you think of it, you tighten them again. And after a pit stop, whether they've changed the brake pads or not, tattoo it under your eyelids. Pump the brake pedal, because if they put the pads in and you forget,
Fuel on the road.
you're a goner. Yeah, Griffin's Bend, right? It's one of the toughest on the circuit. If you don't get this one right, psychologically, you're gone for the rest of the lap. It's about 260 on the way in, remember, and you've got to knock off 130 k's an hour. But you've got to do that on the bumps on the way in. But let me give you a tip. When you're challenging for Griffin's Bend, either make the commitment or get the hell out of it. We're approaching the cutting. If I can't tell you anything simpler than this, there is one racing line up there. Make sure you're on the tram tracks. There is no room to put your front right tyre even a foot outside of where it needs to be.
The track is jammed.
Idiot, I'm sorry.
When we come up to Reed Park, you need to hug the wall. Put the car right over there, hard on the wall, but be careful, don't overuse the curb on the inside. It'll feed you into the wall.
Drama here.
This is a great part of the circuit where we go from going up the hill and we transform to going down the hills. And no more beautiful sight than your revs in front of you, bang, 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 bang. So we're out of Reed Park truck, and now we're going to head down to that damn grate, right? It's a horrible, dirty drain up against a wall on the right-hand side of the circuit. Now, the problem here is you've got to commit really, really early. And you don't know, because nowhere in Australia does your front tyre on your car get more downward load than at the grate. You don't know way back then if your power steering is going to suffer it or it's going to give up and feed you into the fence. So we've got through the grate. We're now heading through Sulman to McPhillamy Park. This is Mount Panarama. This is where you need to be thinking.
Sorry guys, I got to pause this, and I normally only pause it once. This one's a little over 9 minutes long, it looks like. So, but I'll still only pause it once, and hopefully we still won't get gigged on copyright. If it gets blocked, I really don't know what the antidote is for that. I'll just let Gorch know that it got blocked, but I think we're going to be okay. It's this guy's got a way of talking to also elevate the listener and the person watching it, like me. I can feel my heartbeat kind of getting amped up there and really wanting to get in the car. Just listening to this guy, man, he's really digging it. So yeah, man, I think it's pretty cool. I'm learning something here. So this one's definitely Australian. I think Daryl Rawtrip one will be. I know he's an American racer, and I think he's probably doing something in America. But let's get back to this one here. This is pretty interesting.
Corners ahead of where you are. You can't see the roadway up ahead, but you're going to average from the cutting all the way to Skyline around 200 kilometres an hour. This ain't kids' play.
Oh, big moment.
So you've got through the top of the mountain. You've done the tough driver stuff. Now, throw that bit away. You've got to be a ballerina.
That's the view from Skyline. Go for broke time.
You're going to need to dance all the way down through the S's.
The descent starts.
Until you arrive at the dipper. And when you get to the dipper, yeah, sure, it looks really cool with two wheels hanging up in the air. You can't get the throttle on, can you, with two wheels in the air? Get the thing back on the deck. And the moment your rear tyre hits the ground is the same moment your right foot hits the firewall.
Makes sense.
Now weave through the concrete walls, but don't get too clever and trying to get an inch away from them. There's nothing to be gained by doing that. Forest elbow. This is the second time and the only other time in the lap that you're not going to feel your front tyres. You're going to come over the little crest there, downhill, and 1.5 tons she won't want to pull up. Oh, look at this! So this is where you need to be really measured, slow it up, because your big drama here is going to be understeer. The car does not want to turn there.
They're tagging.
For goodness sake, be aware of what's going on around you. If there's one gap you can leave open for your competitors, it's right there. Think about this. You need to either position yourself out right, commit yourself to Conrod straight and your top speed, or you're going to need to defend, because that is one of the great spots for attack. And if you're going to defend, there is nothing surer you are going to compromise your straight line speed. So if you're going to defend, you defend. You block him, you pull him up, so you get your foot to the gas first.
This is wild. This is as fast as it gets.
300 kilometres an hour.
Now, I don't care what cars you've driven in your career or where you've driven them. There is nowhere else that you're going to go where 1.5 tons of race car at 300 kilometres an hour actually feels like 1.5 tons of race car at 300 kilometres an hour. And you're approaching what is the fastest corner in Australian motorsport, the Chase. You want a tough bit of roadway? That's it. You want to talk about commitment? This is it. You come down here And you'll see there's a metre of tarmac that's been laid down on the left-hand side of that for you to use every single millimetre of it. If for one lap you do not go out there and use that,
That is an almighty crash.
you're going to compromise your lap time and compromise your result. So you need to use that every lap. And why do you need to do that? You need to get the car around there. At 300 kilometres an hour, do not lift your right foot off the throttle until the car is squared up, and when it is, and only then, you put your foot on the brake and you push it so damn hard that you want to bend the brake pedal.
He goes, he's into the side of him. They run into each other. He's blocked out brake. He's going to redress. He's going to redress. Oh, no, they're all gone. This is huge in Australian motorsport.
Last corner. So you've got 6 kilometres of the 6.213 kilometre circuit done. Do not get it wrong here.
This kid is going to win this thing today.
Finish the job right now.
Will Davison might get this done. Nothing in it. He wins it by a car length.
So that defines this mountain. That defines this race. Do you want to win it? Everyone wants to win it. If you can't first beat the mountain, you will never win this race.
Let me get this here. You know, that was 9 minutes and 36 seconds. And with that guy talking the way he was talking and amped up the way he was amped up, that time to me just flew. Now it might not to y'all, especially if you've seen it before. It might not hold that kind of elevated, oomph to it, but to me it was pretty awesome, man, and makes me want to go watch this race. Hell, it makes me want to jump in there and do it, although I'd be pissed off if I got a scratch on my car, so that ain't gonna happen. But yeah, man, Gorge, that was a great one. Thanks, buddy. And for the rest of y'all, it's already been a long one, so I'm not gonna be long-winded here. Thanks for showing up. Hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't already done so. And until I see y'all again, I'll catch y'all down the road. Thanks a lot. Let's get into this outro. See y'all.